Welcome back to the Escape Pod. He is Sean and I am Justin. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the stimulus package. That's right, the stimulus package. Sean, you go first.
I know there's a lot of people that are against it. Obviously, there's a lot that's for it. But I just want to stay on the subject of why we need the stimulus package, right? I mean, when you focus in on the pandemic, that's the real reason. We need a stimulus check as well as money for the small businesses to keep them afloat. But the stimulus check, for crying out loud, is needed not only now, but throughout, I'd say, the next few months. God knows how long, maybe even into 2021. So we can definitely help out all the citizens. I mean, the citizens, no doubt, but the small businesses are the backbone of America, and we need to save that. And right now, if you want people to get rid of the pandemic, that's the main goal, to kill this pandemic, and bring it down to where it's controlled until we can get a vaccine, of course, is people got to stay home. So how do you expect people to stay home if they can't make money? And a lot of them have lost their jobs already. And they need that money. And some, I know a bunch of people as well that want to get back to work, but they probably can't, for the essential jobs that are out there because of their children. They need, some kind of, childcare or even getting them back to school. But the problem is, we have a pandemic. And if you ain't got a vaccine, you're just asking for trouble. I've had family members and friends who have passed away and are actually in critical care as we speak. And it's real. If whatever conspiracy theories, whatever's out there, it's real. So if that's the case, we need a vaccine, but we don't have that right now. And the stimulus check will help us survive until we get that vaccine, so we can finally open the gates and let everybody come back. And you can't expect people to stay home if they don't have money coming in, because they need their essentials. They need the food, water, milk, whatever it might be, right? And even batteries, and you need to pay for maybe something that's happened to the house. There's so many things. There's just so much, and we need that stimulus check and a large one, and so forth. There needs to be a federal law where if you can't pay your mortgage or the utilities, that should be waived. And that, if I'm not mistaken, Justin, that's not also been made federal across the board, right?
No, you have to actually qualify by giving a written document how COVID, it's got to be from your employment, how COVID affected your job, or your work, or whatever else.
So there you go. I mean, that's my problem. Everybody keeps saying, oh, but we're so in debt, we're going to keep going. Dude, we're in debt way past its limitation already. We're past the boundaries already. We're past the roof. It's over. It's just we're so in debt. Who gives a shit? Technically, and it's another show too, we can talk about that we're made to be born into debt anyway. It doesn't matter. We'll figure out how to pay it back later. All we have to really focus on is getting our economy back, saving our nation and our people. And most importantly, on top of that, what's really cool is it shouldn't be a big deal because the Fed is willing to back stimulus packages and checks and so forth for years. So what is holding us back? That's usually always the problem is the Fed going to back us? Yeah, they're going to back us. Because if we fall, they fall. So yes, I believe that we need the stimulus package.
This kind of feels like a Star Wars film. That the White House and the Republicans are Qui-Gon, and the American people are Watto, and they're over there going, you don't need a stimulus check. You don't need money to survive. The economy's safe. That's what it's doing. And Waddle's over there going, no, Annie. You cannot fool me, Donald. That's where we're at right now. This is how pathetic this is. First of all, they're in a crunch time right now, the Republicans. They've got till August 14th before they go on break. I'm assuming it's August 14th. Keep in mind, people, they go on break. They ain't coming back till September. That's another month. Boom, no money. The unemployment benefits ended this month. Or it's set to end this month. In fact, this week. The payment the PPP loans for small businesses, first of all, got decimated by big businesses, which don't know how they qualify. I mean, if you're writing a fucking stimulus bill that's for some type of pandemic, you'd figure you want to be very clear on who and who cannot fucking get one of these loans. But this really does feel like a Star Wars film. The Republicans are trying to pull a fast one on us. And what I'm upset about is that they're in crunch time. They had a bill in place for about a month or two now from the Democrats. Now, granted, they didn't have to take the Democrats' bill, but they could have talked about it. But a lot of key Republicans said that, no, we're going to wait and see. We want to see the job reports ending of June. We want to see how the economy is doing. And we're going to make our judgments from there. What were they waiting for? Oh, no, the economy is going to be great. The economy is going to do fucking fine. This ain't no Jedi mind trick. I mean, they knew it was hell in a handbag. I don't know what Mr. Trump was thinking, what he was trying to figure out. I believe he had a magic 8-ball and he was shaking it every so often to get answers. Yeah, because right now what's happening is instead of the $3 trillion package that the Democrats have in place, which could solve a lot of the issues, and let's be real here, Sean hit it right on the head right there at the nail. It's going to take multiple packages. Now, people are like, oh, well, I shouldn't be responsible for the taxes. Oh, I don't want to pay taxes for that. Oh, I don't want to do this. Okay, well, let's not get the stimulus package, and let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice. The economy is going to fall. With it, our nation. We're looking at another depression, and if this were to happen, this probably could be worse than the Great Depression. This could be called the Great Depression and the many fuck-ups that followed, or that precluded it. They're trying to break this $3 trillion package into deadline packages of $1 trillion each, whatever it is, over the next several months. And they want to tackle issues as they come up, but they don't understand that is just stitching 7 wounds at one time and not knowing if you have enough thread. They're not thinking on this one. They haven't done anything, and this is the time for them to step up and provide some sort of leadership. The money they're going to give Americans now, another $1,200 check. It's for a married couple. You're going to get to $3,900 total. That's not going to cut it. This is a crucial month in July, and so is August. Go look this up. The people are going to miss their mortgage and the rent payments. And if people miss their rent and mortgage payments this month or next month, we're looking at probably, a 40%, 50% increase in homelessness. Job market isn't good. You know, there's a lot of things that aren't great. Oh, they should give the paycheck taxes or something, whatever it was called, payroll tax cut. That's what it was, the payroll tax cut. Because, it's going to give more money back to those who work. It's going to incentivize companies to keep people hired. Yeah, in theory. But in reality, they're going to keep all the damn money. They're going to pay off what they got to pay off, because right now, one thing that Tony Robbins talks about is uncertainty. And right now, the one thing we are certain about is the uncertainty of our economy. It sounds kind of weird, but let me say that again. The one thing that we are very fucking certain about is the uncertainty of this economy, because we have no clue what's going to happen. It basically went from a freight train from point A to point Z across flat land to this roller coaster that's being driven by the Joker. We have no fucking clue how high it goes, and we don't know how low we're going to go. And what makes matters worse, like I mentioned previously in another episode, that at some point the bubble is going to burst on the housing. We're nearing a cliff, people. Oh, but the stock market is doing great. Well, who's paying the stock market right now? Probably the feds, right? Look it up. Federal Reserve is bankrolling the fucking stock market. But the one thing they can't bankroll is bad mortgages, is bad fucking mortgage loans. Is people can't pay their damn mortgages. They can only do so much. They can't fucking pay mortgages for people. We're heading back to another 2008. It's not going to be as bad because it's not going to be as scandalous. This is basically flat out right in front of our faces. I can't pay my mortgage. Bug it. I'm going to walk away from my house. So we're heading for a bubble, burst, crash, whatever you want to call it. Second thing that's coming is the stock market crash. It's going to happen because we've had these up and down, up and down, up and down periods, and all of a sudden we're in this danger zone. You know, we're in Mach 10 here, and they don't realize it's going to crumble real quick, real fast. And the only reason why we're not in a Great Depression right now is because those two events have not happened yet. But imagine if those two events happen either simultaneously or in concession of each other. But prior to that, we have people not being able to pay their mortgage or their rent. Oh, shit. Smell that depression? It's like Old Spice. So, yeah, I believe the stimulus package needs to quit being dicked around by a bunch of guys that make a bunch of money that's set in stone. They don't care. They don't care if they pass it, because guess what they're going to be doing come August 15th? They're going to be fishing, throwing parties, spending money, and not giving a rippity fuck about people. So that's all I got on that, Sean. You got anything else?
No, just the payroll tax. How does that work if you don't have a job?
It doesn't.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was just wondering. Now it makes more sense. Yeah, I was just thinking. I'm like, of course. How does that help anyone if there's, you know, you don't have a job? So how does the payroll tax? You know, that's interesting. Yeah.
So if you guys got any comments or things you want to add or talk or have us talk about, please drop them below in the comment section. If you like today's video, please subscribe, tell a friend, pass it along, do what you got to do. It's just like passing a doobie. It is what it is. So we'll see you on the other side, and thank you for tuning in. We're home.